Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we get to chat with Kat McCartie, and we are so excited to hear more about who she is, what she's been up to, and all of the incredible work she's bringing into the world. So, with that, Kat, welcome.
Hi, Nicole. Good to see you again.
Yes, I'm so excited to dive into this. Before we even hear more about all of the wonderful work, can you share with us why you got started in this work? What got you here today?
So I came into New Avalon 6 or 7 years ago, and I was in an incredibly tough spot in my life. I had tried all kinds of things. My own identity had just been completely shattered. I'd been going and six figures and doing all of the things and trying to be super mom. And I had a situation that came up and I was completely shattered and I didn't know what to do. I talked to a psychotherapist. I'd done all of the work. I'd gone to see coaching. I had tried all kinds of self care and I just wasn't getting the results that I needed. I was still in that space. I would make some progress, but I just wasn't back to who I wanted to be in that moment. And I came across one of the tools that are taught in Master QCP, and being the person who is going all of the time and is the breadwinner and is the mom that needs to do everything, like it just this constant going. I needed something that was quick and fast. I had spent months in psychotherapy trying to get this, and I came across this tool and I was like, let me try it out. Like, I've been studying energetics for a long time. This tool looks kind of interesting and neat. And I came to a workshop that was happening and I fell in love with the tool right away and was like, this is amazing. My entire world, the way I saw the world, changed in a moment, like a couple of hours, and I was able to see things in a very different perspective. So I started teaching that. Life happens, as everybody is aware. I relocated and I put it on the back burner. I still used it, it still did lots of great things, but I started to fall back into this cycle around constantly being on the go, having to be the super mom, working crazy hours, and not being able, even though I tried different things and self care was important, I wasn't finding the stillness and the rest. I wasn't at peace all of the time. And eventually my body gave out. I was working 22-hour days sometimes in order to get this project up and going. And it just wasn't, it didn't resonate with all of who I am. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? This is not where I'm at. I was let go after doing this great big project and donating all of my time and making all of these sacrifices. And I was like, okay, I'm being paid to sit and figure out what I want to do. So I was like, I want to do all the things that I love. I want to help people with their unique talents and I want them to showcase it and I want to guide people. And I need to find something that bridges all of that. And I want a career where I get to make my hours and be financially secure and do all of these great things. And so I thought, oh, you know what? I need to go back to New Avalon. This one tool, just this one tool, made such a difference. Now I want to coach. Now I'm ready to all the new skills I've learned. I'm ready to start doing this full time. And so I came back and I started into the triple certification and then moved into the Torchbearer program because I was like, hey, these have helped me so much. What these tools do, it's actually the bridge between studying the magic behind it and the science. It's where the two combine in these tools. For me, addict, recovering cortisol addict, is that it's this constant doing.
So, for those who are listening, how would one know that cortisol is the one that's running the show?
So I feel exhausted. I really struggle with the boundaries. There's a constant list of things to do. My head is constantly going around it. And drama comes up, whether it's in work or whether it's life or whether it's your personal relationships. It's just this constant problem solving and constantly being in chaos and crisis and secretly loving all of that. Yeah, it was the start of the shift. And
Mm.
so it uncovered like one of my core beliefs.
Cool.
But then through the rest of this, I started to notice the cycles were there. The strategies were still running. I still felt guilty. It
Yeah.
shifted a little bit, but
Yeah.
by doing the breakthrough and doing the
Yes,
extra
the
tools
breakthrough.
and doing the extra work that comes from this, I was able to recognize the strategies that were underlying things like, oh, not allowing myself to receive, constantly being on the go, viewing my life as busy. So those were, for me, Nicole, that's when I knew that the hit was coming, right? Because
Mm,
things could be slow. I wasn't working, but then I was telling myself I had to, and I'm taking a class, but then the laundry needed to be done. And so I shifted, a different
hmm.
perspective started coming up that it was like I had to constantly be doing. And through the tools that we use here, it started to shift really into the being and
Yeah.
being my authentic self and being okay and accepting where I am today and loving myself exactly where I am. I'm okay with just pausing too. That I know at one conversation, I was like, hey, I read a book today just for pure enjoyment. And the guilt was gone. The
Yeah.
list of many things that still had to be done. And being able to actually have other people respond to that, being like, yes, that's good of you to take care of, versus the story of you're being lazy, you're this, you're that, you're.
Mm,
And so it's recognizing where that hit comes in.
mm.
And so the tools that we use helps us actually get to that unconscious piece of it. And
Yeah.
it does that in a gentle way without
Yeah.
having to rehash things.
Yeah.
And it's quick. So there's that piece for me. It's still there, but I'm all about, I want efficiency. I want to live my life. I want to enjoy life. And I think everybody does. So these tools move us that way at an accelerated rate.
Yeah.
I love the term somebody said, it's the express lane versus the collectors.
No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. From a practitioner, can you tell us a little bit about a time when you were working with a client and you were like, because of this, I've watched my client go from here and completely transform through that express lane that you had talked about.
There's
Right.
framework.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
framework is there and it works. And it also has the adaptability, and we're encouraged to find the things that work for our clients. And so,
Yep.
watching them, I had a youth that came in who was really struggling with acceptance and being able to have a voice. And wow, by the end of the 6 weeks, Nicole, being able to communicate with those around them about what was important, how they
Hmm.
viewed the world. And then
Hmm.
not only that, but it started off with themselves. They used to come in with their head down and quiet and constant anxiety, and their confidence, the shoulders that they had back, the bullying stopped. All of these things, as they started to do their own work,
Yeah.
was incredible.
I think confidence, it's one of those intangible things that we can't see. Mental and emotional health is intangible in a way, but it really is the fundamental foundation for how we make decisions and how we move forward in life. So to be able to have frameworks and practices that allow us to cultivate safe environments, to move through or accept what's in the way, to be able to really connect in with our true sense of self, but also have the confidence and then have the strategies to work through that. It really is everything. It is that soft skill that is, I think, the absolute game changer in how we live our life.
Oh, I totally agree.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Thank you for sharing that with us because I think it's one of those things where it's like transformational self-development is the foundation to so much of what we're doing. And so I really love how you've brought that forward. Now, I'm curious when it comes to New Avalon and yourself as a practitioner, what would you say specifically New Avalon has that is the differentiator for you? What do you absolutely love?
What's the
Yes.
one thing? Hard
Yeah,
to
what's the
choose,
one
Nicole. Hard to choose.
thing?
One thing. The biggest part for me was not only these tools are incredible, but it's about the sense of community. And you may have heard that from a lot of other people, but it is that view on post-traumatic growth, right? It is very much about that, but it's also the acceptance. This community is a space where I'm accepted for exactly who I am in that moment when I'm hitting my stuff, when I'm talking about the things that have shown up that are uncovering as I'm doing my own healing or as I'm attracting other ones, that when I need to take this coaching supervision, when I need to bring something back that I've run into something that I hadn't anticipated happening, that I have a safe space to land, that I can have the conversation, that I can be held. And then not only that, but it's a group of incredible individuals who are like, here is your light, Kat. And we're going to let you sit there for a few minutes, but we're also here to help you get back up. We're helping you through that growth. And that doesn't exist in a lot of spaces. And it's a space where I say acceptance. You could use the term judgment free, whatever that defines for you. But really, what it is, I was doing my own work.
Yeah.
And I was able to come in and show up exactly authentically as I am. And this community accepts me in that moment. And that's the differentiator for me than any other coaching, any other practice out there. And then not only holding that space, but then helping me be able to be in that space of acceptance, right? Of myself and of others.
Yes. Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
be able to do it. I do find that you have to be able to do that for yourself in
Yeah.
order to be able to do it for others. So that's my big thing. I always get lit up whenever I come. And even when I'm in that like yucky spot, because we all get there, life happens when I'm in my 20% that kind of is
Yep.
tough.
Yep.
I know I can come to a call. I know I can come to the community calls and I can be there and be like, yep, and I'm struggling with this.
Yeah.
Be happy to celebrate. But the big part for me is when I'm not okay,
Yeah.
that I have a place of acceptance that helps me be not okay and gets me into being okay. And yeah, that is that big piece. That is whatever my model of the world, whatever I want to talk about, it's just, and you hold it, and New Avalon holds it for everyone,
For everyone. Yeah.
everyone,
Yeah.
everyone,
I agree.
everyone.
Yeah, everybody does say community. I will say that is definitely for all the grads I've spoken to and even myself, it is community. And I think that is again, and you don't need to, you can share whatever you feel comfortable with when I ask this question, but I think I'm more also just looking at myself in the times when I haven't had community or what would have happened if I didn't bring this forward and there was no holding of space, there was no acceptance of where I was at. What would have happened to me and my family, my business, and you're open to share this too, but I know that things would have fallen through. I would have stayed stuck. I would have made decisions that were not aligned with me. I would have identified with those emotions, made them mean something instead of saying, utilizing this framework, being seen by people who absolutely love and adore. And like you said, know the power, know the light. And it's something, it's like you almost don't know that you need it until you have it. And then you're like, how did I do this without it? And then if we want to even get more technical as a practitioner in this work, we hear it all the time. When you're helping people on the front lines, when you're working in this level of work, who takes care of you? Who are your people that are supporting you? And how do you prevent burnout? And how do you prevent compassion fatigue? And that's what you're saying. The community aspects and being a part of Sanctum, having that supervision, not having those things. Give us one example of what would have happened if those pieces were not available for you.
Oh, I would say I probably would have shifted gears. I
Right.
would have potentially gone back to that old corporate world. I could have gotten back into that cortisol addiction. I could have walked away and just said, and not lived my life purpose. I am my life's purpose. I would have had a piece out of my career, a
Yeah.
piece of me that was missing, Nicole.
Mm.
Some of those traumatic things that come up, and you're like, oh, I could have stayed in bed all of the time. I could have walked away from it, continued to see the world from that space of constantly proving my worth. That
Mm.
was a big one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Undercharging, not having the financial security that I had, being spread out so thin across a million different things if I didn't have that space.
So like going
And to
back
know
and repeating the cycles.
the cycle would
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah, yeah.
continued to repeat the cycles that were happening before. I wouldn't have broken free from that. I would have not gotten to a point of stillness. And not only that, Nicole, for me, and I will share my own personal, I came up against some stuff when I did my own breakthrough.
Mm,
And I was in a really dark place where I always know what to say. And
mm,
I am very conscientious of how I say it and how it's received and whether it's harmful. They just, that inherently happens. But I had a day where I was like, no, I'm hurting and I don't know what to
mm.
do. I would have not received. I would have my abundance. I would have just shut down because I was in this space of just darkness. And having this community where I could come in and be like, I am not okay today. And
Yeah,
I am in tears and I have no capacity. I am in my triggers right now
yeah,
that
yeah,
the filter is not there and I'm
yeah.
hurting. And I had a space where somebody held me and said, okay,
Mm,
Kat, we're going to put you in this space and held
mm-hmm,
it. And I had that opportunity where I was not trauma dumping on anybody else. I
mm,
had a space where I was accepted and being able to share it and then work through it. When
yeah,
I was ready, I had
yeah.
that opportunity to say, you know what, I need to be okay. Am I not okay?
Mm,
And then now I'm ready. I'm back to being, my triggers are there, my whole system. And
yeah,
now I need a guide to help me get through that.
yeah.
Had I not been there, Nicole, I wouldn't be as abundant. I wouldn't be financially secure where I am. I wouldn't be
Mm-hmm,
working on that flexibility. I would be right back into all of those pieces. So
mm,
having leaders in the community that have the best in everybody else's interest in, but you're part of that and you matter
mm.
and your stuff matters. And that had that not happened, I would have been back in that all of those old same patterns. My
Yeah.
relationship wouldn't have been as good. I would be still having arguments with my husband and the resentment and proving my worth and continually doing instead of just being. I wouldn't be honoring both the science and the magic.
Yeah, there you go.
I
Everything
wouldn't
right
be
back.
right back to that. I wouldn't be doing both of those pieces. I would only be sharing parts of who I
Yeah,
am.
absolutely. Yeah.
And
It
and
just feels like it's a full circle. What does this trauma conscious work mean for you? And I think you just really answered that question in the way of we are human, we are leaders, we are spiritual beings, and to be able to show up and be seen in our essence and not let that mean something about who we are, but to trust that process. And I think what you've just explained captures the essence of what New Avalon is here to do, walking practitioners through this process so that they in turn can walk others through this process because yeah, we have a lot of things to resolve and to clear up in this world. And on the other side of all of that is because we've got big things to do. And so there is a level of vulnerability and confidence that is required. And so to be in community and having those pieces and those needs met is definitely, I would agree with you, the game changer with New Avalon. Where can people find out more about what you've got going on?
so I post on Instagram. So it's Kat McCartie Coaching. I have a website called katmccartie.com. I have recently started to focus on having that key to freedom call, which is starting that conversation. And coming soon, I will be launching Chat with Kat.
Yay.
And so, Chat with Kat is a YouTube channel that is really about getting to know the people behind the business. And the idea is the best conversations, the best can happen just with a quick coffee chat. And so, I'm really looking forward to having that out there, Nicole, because it's
Cool.
all about human connection, having conversations with people to figure out what is it that their needs are and really having them live up to their absolute fullest potential.
I'm curious with the chat with Kat and the connection calls. If you can just give us a little peek into how has New Avalon helped you in setting up the on the business side? So you've come in, experienced personal transformation, you're a practitioner, but you're also a business owner. Give us one example of something that's been such a game changer in your
So part of it is even just helping me narrow it down. As a visionary, there are all kinds of things. And I created an Oracle deck and I have Organite Dragon Heads and I coach and I teach Energetics 101. And there's a million things that I want to do. But being able to connect through the program and have those calls on a weekly basis, it's been around allowing me to just focus the intent of my energy while embodying and embracing all of those things and holding space for it. But that directionality of here's where that intention needs to be. And some of the systems where it's like, hey, I could really bounce this off somebody. I have all of this great ideas. How do I bring it down? So that's from my business perspective. It's those parts of it. And I know it's about personal transformation, but Nicole, I think you and I know the biggest part of that is that for our businesses to grow, when we're running up against blocks and barriers, the entire world is perception, is projection. So what are the pieces that I've been projecting out? And so that being able to receive, that impacted so many other spaces. So the control pieces, that all came through not only that personal development, but also as a business. That's, hey, I'm struggling with this. And
Yeah.
then it becomes that engagement in that conversation and also resonating who. So when I
Hmm.
say that bridge, it's who do I want to talk to? Who are the people that I'm looking to help? Who was I all those years ago that says, I want you to learn that you don't have to be constantly on the go. In my business, my communications become more targeted.
Yes. Yeah. The more that like you said, perception is projection, utilizing the business as the mirror to project back at us what we can release, let go of, focus in on more. And that will all show up on the business side and on the revenue side and on the impact side. So I couldn't agree with you more. So, you know what, Kat, this has been a powerful, intentional, focused conversation. I appreciate you and everything you have shared. Now, if you were to chat with someone today, chat with Kat, I love that. If you were to chat with someone today who's listening and they are curious to know more about whether Avalon is new, if they are curious to know more about new Avalon and they are like, yes, personal transformation is the absolute thing that I am ready for to take my business to the next level, what's the one thing you want them to know?
Oh, I tell all the coaches, anybody that I meet that is in any of these fields, that New Avalon is the space to go. Because there is that, again, I will come back to it's the acceptance.
Mm,
It's the acceptance of where you are
mm,
and the vision of where you will be. Because they see that. And so it's this journey that gets you there
yeah.
in an efficient, trauma aware, and conscious process. That's, yeah, even when you don't see it in yourself, they already see it in you and they give you the tools to get there at an accelerated rate.
Woo.
Hands down,
Yes.
efficiency, powerful. You can do lots of things in a lot of other ways. And I'm sure their coaching practice is already doing incredible, Nicole. I genuinely believe that people have that out there. But if there is anybody out there, any of those tools that you're not sure, pick up the phone, give them the call, connect with one of the leaders of it to just see, and you'll instantly know that this is a space of acceptance where they just want you to thrive because the world needs you. The
Yes.
world needs your story. They need your perception of it. And this space allows you to do that,
Mhm.
whatever it is.
Ah, we love you. We love you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Kat.
Love you.